Hey y'all, so I am back with a quick Swiss Kriss Q&A. This is inspired by a friend of mine who I spoke to while I was taking the Swiss Kriss for 2 weeks. And of course people have questions. So one of the things that he asked me was like, wow, you've been taking essentially a laxative for 2 weeks now. Everything must be liquid that's coming out of you right now, right? And I thought, whoa, that could be a question that people have on YouTube, and especially if you've done other cleanses. I know I have, probably most of us have. And I know I've done some cleanses where by like the first day, right, everything coming out is kind of liquid. The Swiss Kriss experience, at least for me, was not like that at all. Everything remained solid for the entire 2-week duration, even though I was having like all of those very productive bowel movements throughout that 2-week period. Another question I guess someone would have about, another question I have is whether or not all of those multiple bowel movements would really be exhausting or painful. I'm saying this tactfully as possible. Hopefully you can get my meaning. There was a point, if this is the first video you're watching, I'll catch you up really quickly. So like during the first week, especially during the very first couple of days, like for like the 2nd through the 5th day, I was going to the bathroom. I said it was like 10 or more times per day. And then during the 2nd week, it was probably about 5 times, like half of that. So I was taking half the dosage of Swiss Kriss during the 2nd week, and I was having half as many bowel movements, but definitely more probably than the average person, and definitely more than my body would normally be used to. So despite all of that, I did not have any pain or issues in that area. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that there's no straining happening. Like most people would probably associate their bowel movements with sitting there and straining and pushing to get things out. With the Swiss Kriss, of course, the Swiss Kriss is facilitating things, so you don't have that problem, which is gonna cause less negative effects on your body. Also, I do have a squatty potty, and I think it's just those little comfort items that can come into play, like if you have a bidet, which I don't, something like that. But even without one, still, I didn't have any issues like that. I guess another concern, and one that I thought about too, as I was going through this whole process, is like, okay, I am taking Swiss Kriss for 2 weeks. I don't want to end up having a dependency later. And so Sunday was my last day of taking Swiss Kriss. So I made it through the 2 weeks, yay. And today is now Tuesday. So it's 2 days since I've taken the last dose of Swiss Kriss, and everything is fine, operating absolutely normally. I don't believe that I developed a dependence at all on Swiss Kriss, or that I would be dependent, reliant on laxatives due to having taken it for this 2-week time period. Now, it does say on the bottle that you should not take the Swiss Kriss longer than a week unless you're under doctor's orders. So I took it upon myself to go on this little journey and see what happened, and I'm very happy, with the results. Now, I definitely regret that I did not weigh myself during this challenge, and I essentially realized that, what the hell are you doing? Okay, that's another editing point. Get down, Munch, get down. I realized that I had given my scale away the day that I started, or like the morning after I started taking the Swiss Kriss. And so, Munchie, get your ass out of here. What is wrong with you, boy? I'll pay attention to you later. All right. Pardon the interruption, but you're not gonna see that anyway because the power of editing, the magic of editing. Okay, where was I? Yes, so I regret that I did not weigh myself before, during, and after starting the Swiss Kriss. If you've been watching the video so far, you will know that I started taking the Swiss Kriss on a Sunday night. a little over 2 weeks ago now, and I didn't really know what to expect, and I also forgot that I no longer had a scale. So it was my intention to go out, you know, in the very beginning days and go ahead and purchase a scale. And that did not work out because the Swiss Kriss was doing its job, and I was afraid to be away from home for long enough to find a scale and purchase one and come back. And I didn't like order one or anything like that. So I did take my measurements. Overall, so of course the measurements vary throughout my body, but I lost up to like 2 inches in any given area in my body over the course of 2 weeks. I definitely have noticed like a change in how my clothing fits and everything like that. I'm sorry that I cannot give you guys an exact amount of weight that I lost. I know that Ali Siddiq states that he personally lost 12 pounds in 2 weeks doing this. I don't know, I wouldn't say based on how I feel, I don't necessarily feel, or the experience, like how my clothing and everything fits now, I don't necessarily feel like I've lost 12 pounds, but I do know that I've lost some weight in this process. I actually had a funny experience. So I was trying on clothes, and I'm normally a size large, and I pulled up these pants and they were huge, and I was like, oh my God, it's the Swiss Kriss. Like, I must be fading away. Like, my fat is just melting off my body. I was so excited and happy. So I ended up buying the pants in a medium, and like even the medium was still loose. So I get home and I'm reading the reviews online on the store's website, on Urban's website, and literally there's like 80 something reviews, and everyone's like, these pants run so big. They're huge. You need to size down like a size to 2 sizes. And I was like, oh, well, that's fine. But I also, you know, went into this looking for some health benefits too. And I definitely feel like the other health benefits aside from weight loss, like my mental clarity, the energy boost, just the feeling of positivity that I've been having, feeling cleaner in my bodily systems, not having any body odor, from my bodily fluids and eliminations has really been a great feeling. My breath, my oral health, my mouth definitely feels cleaner. Like when I wake up, there's not that film and everything on my teeth during the time that I was taking Swiss Kriss. Like I actually noticed this morning a little bit of it where there was like, you know, when I woke up, it's like, you know, that little gritty feeling or whatever inside your mouth. And it was very, very minute. During the Swiss Kriss, it was like non-existent. So I know that the Swiss Kriss definitely did something, and I think it's definitely more beneficial to me that, you know, if it cleared up some things internally that will have some other effect, like positive impacts on my health and things like that. Yes, squeezing into a smaller pair of jeans is definitely nice, but I'm here for the health benefits. Also, I just wanted to add, or I think in conclusion, you may be wondering about the Swiss Kriss ingredients. So I know I was a little irresponsible in my earlier videos, and I said, I haven't read these ingredients, I don't care. I'm just someone who's here after watching a ton of YouTube videos taking Swiss Kriss and taking it all for granted. Swiss Kriss contains, according to the label, finely ground, sun-dried senna leaves and a synergistic herbal blend, which includes anise, calendula flowers, caraway, hibiscus, peach, and strawberry leaves. And there's some other ingredients they list as binding agents, okay? So, I just noticed something weird. It says natural and then there's an asterisk. So I'm like, why? And then down below it says there's natural active ingredients. So that's kind of interesting. But here's another look at the bottle. I did buy the smaller one, the 120 tablets, more than enough to last 2 weeks. And also well into the future if I wanted to take this again. I have this like acquired taste, or like it's almost like my senses or my body is craving it. My cat's just being a jerk. I'm gonna end this here. I hope that all of this helps someone. I do plan on doing another video to talk about some of the crazy, gross things that came out of my body doing Swiss Kriss. So definitely like, subscribe, and stay tuned if you're interested in hearing more. It was really quite an experience. Definitely something that I will do and use again in the future. Even if I don't do 2 weeks, maybe I'll do like, you know, the 4 tablets at night for 1 week instead of 2. I'm so upset because I said so many things and now they're gone from the other video and I have no idea. All of the questions that I sort of was asked in the real world, no one's asked any questions on my video so far, but if you know you had any questions, concerns about what the Swiss Kriss experience might be like, drop them in the comments and I will definitely get back to you. I feel like that's pretty much it for now. I'm definitely about to wrap up this whole Swiss Kriss video series and I'll be on to my next endeavor when it comes to cleansing. I think I've been wanting to for over a year to get my own colonic board so that I can do colonics at home. So that'll definitely be something I will share with you guys if I start doing those at home. All right, you all, I hope that all of this has helped someone and I will say bye for now. Peace.